they then decided to, you know, start making out and like wrestle each other up and whatnot. They were getting real hot, and they just kept hearing this clicking noise, and the girl was getting freaked out, and he was like, no, don't worry about it, it's nothing, it's probably just like, you know, like a squirrel running on leaves or something, it's not a big deal. And she was like, oh, okay, if you say so, but it's real, I'm getting creeped out. So they kind of like sat down behind a tree, and they just sat and were, you know, fooling around, and then all of a sudden, they see a shadow run past. They didn't really think of, like, they kind of just thought it was like a trick of the light or something. So they went back to what they were doing, and then all of a sudden, there's just a figure in front of them, a big, tall, scary, dark figure. And out of nothing, he pulls out a large hook. And it was glinting in the sun. And he just walked up to them and stabbed them right through their neck. Together, so they would always be kissing for all of eternity. Hell.
That's not so bad.
Because they drank underage. And he left them there, just like that. And he walked away. Another couple of the group were wondering where the two had gone. So they decided to walk off and find them, and then, you know, as like the guy was just kissing her, and they were just like getting all hot too, and you know, whatever. And they walked up to the same tree where their friends were, but they sat on the opposite side. And they were just kissing. And then the girl was just, you know, like sitting like this, and the guy was kissing her, and then all of a sudden she felt something warm and wet on her hand. And she was like, you know, and she was like, what the hell is that? And she looks down, she brings her hand up, and she's like, pull out your cell phone. And he pulled out his cell phone.
Here.
Pulled out his cell phone. And looked at her hand, and it was covered in blood. She screamed, and he grabbed her, and they looked around, and they saw a pool of blood coming from behind the tree. They crawled over and looked, and it was their two friends, bloody and dead. They screamed and ran away and went back to their friends. And they went and saw all of their friends at the clearing or a grouping of the tree.
They died too.
They were all still there. Besides, a group of 3. A girl and 2 boys who had walked away. Just to, you know, they thought it was boring just sitting there, so they went for a little walk just to look at graves and, you know, be cool and whatever. So they're just walking, and they, like, the boy and the girl who just saw their dead friends, they went and, like, told everyone about this, and they're like, oh my god, well, we need to go find blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And so, like, they all decided to go and look for them.
Oh, that's the best.
Meanwhile,
Got him.
I'll read it later. Meanwhile, the 3 friends were over by a grave, and one of them was trying to be real cool.
Whoa, what are you doing?
And he was standing on a tall grave with his back to nothingness. And his friends were just staring at them, and he was telling a little story, just trying to be funny. And all of a sudden, a hook shot through the back of his head, or the front of his head. And he just fell back and died, and they saw this big figure coming at them with 2 more hooks.
Oh,
and he killed them. And those 3 were dead. And he left them there with their friend in, like, front trying to be funny, and the 2 dead watching him. So the group of friends...
Wait, how can they be dead if they're watching them?
Their eyes are fixed.
They're dead where they were watching
Their
him.
eyes are fixed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the last 7 of them are walking around the graveyard trying to find their friends. They find the 3 more. So like, oh, 5 of our friends are dead. There's only 7 of us. And they walk to another part of the graveyard trying to find the gate. And they get there, and it's locked shut. And they try hopping it, and a girl tries to hop it, because she's this dumb whore. She climbs it, and it's covered in blood, so she slips and falls on the spikes and dies. And they're all freaked out, so they run back and get away from, it's slippery when it's wet. They run back from the thing, and they go back to the trees. Where 2 of the friends they were like, we're fine, we're cool. So they were just standing there, but they were both dead, hung from the trees.
By hooks?
By rope.
Oh.
So, like I was saying, there's 4 left, and the 4 of them were really scared, and they were freaked out.
They're excited.
No, they were just scared. So they're running around trying to find another exit, some trees, and they split up because they thought that would be a good idea or something. And I don't know why I said idea. Idea. But so they split up, and it's 2 and 2 obviously because it's even. And 2 of them find a little like grouping of trees that looks like they could just cut through them. So they go through. And they trip and fall in a puddle of blood. And they get freaked out, and they're almost out, and then 2 more hooks come through their necks, and they die. And then the other 2 hear them scream, so they're just sitting there, shuddering and scared. And the one was so scared that he died of a heart attack.
Darn it!
The one was sitting there all by himself, just watched his best friend die of a heart attack.
Are they gay or are they best friends?
I just said fucking best friends. So, the one is sitting by himself, and he sees the figure with hooks for hands, well not hooks for hands, but holding hooks for hands, come up to him slowly through the moonlight and the darkness. And he's just so scared, he's afraid he's gonna die. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. And then he hears a clicking sound, and he doesn't know what it is, and he's scared, and he's crying, he's so scared. And then he feels hands on him from nowhere, and he thinks it's zombies or something, because it's as a crazy event as it is. He doesn't even know what could happen now. And he feels the hands shaking him, and then he opens his eyes wider, and he realizes that they were shut the whole time, that he was sleeping, and it was all just a dream.
They're shocked.
And he looks up at the person who was waking him up, and he's lying in his bed. He was just having a bad dream. You know, just a bad dream. None of his friends are all still alive. So he's happy, but he looks up, turns his head and looks at who it is. It's a big, dark figure with a hook that comes down and slices his throat open, and he dies. And that was on the news. I have no clue what was that. And that was on the news.
I did not even see that.
The boy who died. The man with the man. He's not gonna put those back in. That was dirty. The man. Excuse me. The man who carries hooks with him to kill innocent dozens of kids at times in graveyards. He still lurks around the graveyards at night.
I thought he was a made-up character.
He's not.
He's real Austin.
He still
I need a vacuum.
roams graveyards on nights not unlike this very one tonight.
But the whole thing was a dream.
It was real.
Then he sliced his throat. I'm not saying
What?
Just wondering.
Were you listening?
It was a dream, and then he woke up and he thought his mom was just waking him up. And he turned around and it was a man. It was the man. And he
Coop,
slit
we're
his
going to the
throat.
graveyard?
So it was real, he just fell asleep.
We're going to the graveyard?
It was.
I don't know when,
It was
yeah,
fake.
He
In the
dreamt
dream,
it, and then
he
the
dreamt
guy...
all of it, but then he woke up and it was real. Like he just made all that up, but the man
Hey,
was
why were
actually
you
there.
looking at me the whole time? You're just like telling me the story. And
I don't know. I needed a focal point. So anyway, so yes, and the man with hooks still roams the graveyard. Like I was saying, on nights, not unlike this very night tonight.
So when we go to the graveyard, we won't be scared.
Wait, like who are all the people?
Let's just go to the graveyard.
I know you were like aiming it off us.
Wait, who was the first couple to die?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it
they
was
were going to the
them
graveyard.
that
Yeah.
died. And then I was the one who found the puddle of blood. Maybe I was the dumb one.
If you guys want to know who it was, first off, you're the first couple to die.
Yeah, thanks.
You two are the second couple to die. Well, you don't.